Have you ever seen a Mercedes-Benz and wondered why it is so famous? Today, when people see a Mercedes, they think of luxury, power, and success. It is a car that shows high status and top quality. But did this happen in one day? No, it took many years. The story of Mercedes-Benz is not just about cars. It is about smart inventors, big decisions, and a strong desire to be the best. It all started with two men, Karl Benz and Gottlieb Daimler. They never met, but they had the same dream: to change the world with cars. This journey was not easy. There were struggles, mistakes, and risks. From making the first car in history to becoming the top luxury brand, Mercedes-Benz had many ups and downs. At one point, a big mistake almost destroyed the company. So, how did Mercedes-Benz become what it is today? Why is it called Mercedes? How did it survive wars, money problems, and bad deals? And what will happen in the future? Stay with me, and you will learn how Mercedes-Benz became the king of luxury cars. You don't want to miss this story. The story of Mercedes-Benz begins in the late 1800s, a time when people still relied on horse-drawn carriages to travel. There were no cars, no engines, and certainly no highways. But two brilliant inventors in Germany were about to change that forever. The first inventor was Karl Benz. Born in 1844, Karl was a genius when it came to machines. He loved engineering and dreamed of creating a vehicle that could move on its own, without horses. In 1886, after years of hard work, he finally built something revolutionary: the Benz patent motor wagon. This was the world's first car. It had 3 wheels, a gasoline engine, and could move by itself. No one had ever seen anything like it before. At first, people thought it was a silly idea. Why would anyone need a horseless carriage? But Karl's wife, Bertha Benz, believed in him. She secretly took the car on a long journey to prove that it worked. Her journey is now considered the world's first road trip. Thanks to Bertha, people started seeing the potential of this amazing new machine. At the same time, another German engineer named Gottlieb Daimler was working on his own invention. Daimler and his business partner Wilhelm Maybach created a powerful gasoline engine in 1885. A year later, they installed it into a wooden carriage, making one of the first ever motor vehicles. Even though Karl Benz and Gottlieb Daimler were working on the same idea, they never met. They worked separately, trying to build the best vehicle of their time. Little did they know that their inventions would one day join forces to create Mercedes-Benz. But before that could happen, something else needed to take place. A name was about to change everything. Before the company became Mercedes-Benz, it went through different names and changes. But one of the biggest reasons for its success was a man named Emil Jelinek. Emil Jelinek was a wealthy businessman who loved cars. Imagine being so passionate about cars that you name an entire automobile brand after your daughter. That is exactly what Emil Jelinek did in the early 1900s. Jelinek was not just a businessman. He was a man with a dream. He wanted to create cars that were not just functional, but also fast, luxurious, and ahead of their time. At that time, automobiles were still evolving. Jelinek saw their potential. He teamed up with Daimler Motorengesellschaft, DMG, a German car manufacturer, to develop high-performance vehicles. In 1900, the first car bearing the name Mercedes was born. It was named after his beloved daughter. The name became very popular. By 1902, Mercedes was officially registered as a trademark. This solidified its place in automotive history. This was not just another car brand, it was a revolution in motion. Mercedes cars started dominating races, proving their superior engineering and speed. Winning races was not just for sport, it was the ultimate marketing strategy. The more Mercedes won, the more people wanted to own one. Meanwhile, another automobile pioneer, Karl Benz, was making waves with his company, Benz & C. His invention of the first automobile in 1886 had already cemented his legacy. However, competition was getting fierce, and the world was changing rapidly. As economic challenges increased, the two rival companies, DMG and Benz and T, saw an opportunity. Instead of battling for dominance, they decided to merge in 1926. This created Mercedes-Benz. It became a brand that would go on to set the gold standard for automobiles worldwide. With the merger complete, Mercedes-Benz wasted no time in proving why it was the best. Some companies focused on making cars affordable for the masses. Mercedes-Benz took a different route. They focused on luxury, innovation, and elegance. They were not just making cars. They were crafting masterpieces on wheels. One of the first models that truly embodied this vision was the Mercedes-Benz 770. This was a luxury vehicle built for the elite. Politicians and business tycoons wanted one. Unfortunately, one of its most infamous owners was Adolf Hitler. While that is not the best publicity for a car, history is history. The 770 remains one of the most iconic vehicles of its time. Despite the turmoil of World War II, Mercedes-Benz survived. It played a crucial role in Germany's post-war recovery. The 1950s were a golden era for the brand. This period brought one of the most legendary cars ever made, the 300 SL Gullwing. With its futuristic, upward-opening doors and incredible speed, it became an instant icon. It was clear that Mercedes-Benz was not just building cars. They were creating dreams on four wheels. From then on, the company continued to redefine luxury and performance. Owning a Mercedes was not just about getting from point A to B. It was about making a statement. Mercedes-Benz did not just want to be luxurious. They wanted to be revolutionary. While other manufacturers focused on speed and aesthetics, Mercedes-Benz thought about something even more important: safety. In the 1950s and 1960s, the company introduced some of the most groundbreaking safety features the world had ever seen. One of their biggest innovations was the crumple zone. This was a design that absorbs the impact of a crash, protecting passengers. Before this, cars were basically metal boxes that turned into death traps in an accident. Mercedes-Benz changed that forever. Then came the introduction of the anti-lock braking system, ABS. This technology has since become standard in almost every modern car. These advancements were not just about making their cars better, they were about making the roads safer for everyone. But Mercedes-Benz was not done yet. Over the decades, they continued leading the way in automotive technology. They introduced airbags, traction control, electronic stability programs, and more. Each innovation set a new industry standard. This forced competitors to step up their game. Simply put, if you were driving a Mercedes, you were driving the future. Today, Mercedes-Benz is still one of the biggest names in the automotive industry. The company has evolved far beyond its racing roots. It now embraces everything from high-performance AMG models to sleek, eco-friendly electric cars under the EQ brand. One of the most exciting developments in recent years is the brand's push toward autonomous driving. Mercedes-Benz has been investing heavily in artificial intelligence and self-driving technology. They aim to redefine what it means to be behind the wheel. The latest S-Class, for instance, is packed with semi-autonomous features. This makes it one of the most advanced cars on the market. But while technology is evolving, one thing remains the same. Mercedes-Benz's commitment to excellence has not changed. Whether it is a roaring AMG beast or a silent, futuristic electric car, every Mercedes is crafted with precision, passion, and a touch of luxury. So, after more than 130 years, what makes Mercedes-Benz so special? It is not just about the cars, it is about the philosophy behind them. Mercedes-Benz is not just a company, it is a legacy. It is a legacy of innovation, performance, and an unrelenting pursuit of perfection. From the first Mercedes race cars to the ultra-luxurious Maybach models, every vehicle tells a story of progress. The brand has survived wars, economic downturns, and technological shifts. Yet, it continues to thrive. That is because Mercedes-Benz does not follow trends. It sets them. In 2007, Mercedes-Benz won the Safety Award at the What Car Awards. This was because they worked hard to make cars safer, They added airbags to protect people in crashes. They made better brakes so cars would not slide. They created crumple zones so the car, not the passengers, would absorb the impact. Mercedes-Benz wanted drivers to feel safe every time they sat in their cars. Imagine a car that drives by itself. Today it is normal, but in the 1980s it was like a dream. Mercedes-Benz worked with a professor named Ernst Dickmanns to make it real. They built a robot car. The European Union saw this and started the Prometheus project in 1987. They gave $800 million to study self-driving cars. In 1995, something amazing happened. A robotic Mercedes S-Class drove from Munich to Copenhagen and back. It reached speeds of up to 170 kilometers per hour on the highway. This was the start of self-driving cars. Some people love comfort. Some love speed. Mercedes-Benz makes both. But some want more power. This is where tuning companies come in. Brabus and Renntech make Mercedes cars even faster. Carlson adds both speed and comfort. But AMG is special. It is part of Mercedes-Benz. AMG engines are made by hand. Each engine has a nameplate with the builder's signature. Mercedes-Benz bought AMG in 1999. The first full AMG car was the 2009 SLS AMG. It was inspired by the old 300 SL Gullwing. Mercedes-Benz showed the world they could make race cars too. Mercedes-Benz is not just a car company, it is everywhere. They sponsored Germany's football team until 2018. They also sponsored VfB Stuttgart. Their name was on the Mercedes-Benz Arena until June 2023. In America, they put their name on the Caesars Superdome from 2011 to 2021. In 2017, they became the sponsor of Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Everywhere you look, you can find Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz made driving exciting in a new way. Even Mario drives a Mercedes-Benz. In 2014, Nintendo added Mercedes-Benz cars to Mario Kart 8. Players could drive the 2014 GLA, the 1957 SL300 Roadster, and the 1934 W25 Silver Arrow. To make it more fun, Mario, Luigi and Peach appeared in Japanese ads for the GLA. Who knew a video game could bring luxury cars into a fun race? Mercedes-Benz does more than build cars. In 2022, they sponsored the AFF Mitsubishi Electric Cup. Other sponsors included Maspion Holdings, Wuling, Gree, Yanmar and Tiger Brokers. Mercedes-Benz is always part of big events. What's next for Mercedes-Benz? The journey of Mercedes-Benz has been nothing short of incredible. From inventing the first car to pioneering safety and luxury, the brand has left an indelible mark on automotive history. So what's your dream Mercedes-Benz car? Drop your comments below. Like, share and subscribe to get more documentary videos. Thank you for watching.